Okay, good morning. So please log in the chat box if you are able to see me and my voice. If I am audible, please log in the chat box. I can see four concurrent viewers who is watching this live stream. Hello everyone. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so today is the first day of the full stack development course. First of all, I would like to give my introduction. My name is Anil Dollar and I have done master's degree from BETS Pilani, which is India's top IT universities. And I have almost 10 years of software development experience. This is my contact number. If any point of time, if you need any support for this particular batch, you can contact me on the WhatsApp number. So in this batch, we are going to cover front-end technologies and back-end technologies. So this is a full stack development course, which means basically if you want to build a websites, then this course you will be going to do. So full stack development course include two phases. The first phase would called as front-end technologies and the second phase will called as back-end technologies. In the front-end technologies, you will be learn the Git, HTML5, CSS3, Bootstrap, JavaScript, React.js, and eventually the Next.js. So whatever which I have showed right now, it's all our front-end technologies. So in the front-end technologies, we will be studying all these technologies. So back-end technologies, this course front-end technologies will go for 3 months, means from this lecture till 90 lectures, we will be going to cover all the front-end technologies. And in the backend technologies, again, later post 3 months, we will be able to study Node.js, Express, MongoDB, MySQL databases, Redis, which is an in-memory database, and Postgres, which is SQL database we will be going to cover in this lecture. So bonus lecture for this course will be given like Linux administrations. If you are going to build a website that will be eventually hosted on a server, that server will possibly would be a Linux server. So it's a very crucial for every software engineer to learn the Linux administration. I will be also teaching you guys the technologies which is related with the DevOps. So DevOps means development and operations technologies, and in the DevOps technologies you will be able to learn Docker and Jenkins CI/CD pipeline. You will be able to build it. So in this full stack development course, if you don't have any prior experience, no worries. I am here to teach you guys from scratch. So at the end of the this particular course, we will be able to build two kind of projects. One project we will build with basic fundamentals and all, and the second project will be as per the company standards, and for your profile and resume preparation we will be going to do two kind of project development. What are the perks means what are the benefits you will get while joining this class. You will daily we will be going to conduct a class from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. IST, which is Indian Standard Time. So please note down this time every day, 5 to 6 p.m. 1 hour daily from Monday to Saturday. I will be teaching you guys the full stack development course. Daily assignments will be given, daily quiz will be organized. So for that, I have created a WhatsApp group for the discussion. If you have any doubts regarding the lectures, you can freely ask in the group. You can make me WhatsApp call. You can have an AnyDesk call. You might have heard about AnyDesk software. This software is basically for accessing your system remotely, so that if any point of time you have any issues, I can access your system and I can solve your queries. So with the help of AnyDesk software, I will be able to give you support from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. IST. So I am here for you guys for the complete training. And after that, after the live streaming is finished, if somehow some students is not able to watch the video during the live lectures, the students can watch the video in the recorded section of the playlist. Means those students who will skip the live lectures, they can also continue the lectures in the recorded form, so they have to follow the playlist. After the completion of this course, I will be preparing resumes and making your resumes for the placements. I will be also, placing you guys in the companies, in the software companies. So your responsibility to attend the class, your responsibility to do the assignments, your responsibility is to participate in the quiz, and all will be done within 3 to 6 months. It depends upon you that in which technologies you want to learn. You can also, if you are limited with the time, let's say some of you guys are limited that hey sir, we only have 3 months of time for any kind of job security. Better to go one of these two technologies. If you are in a learning stage, if you have at least 6 months of time, I would highly recommend that you should learn both front end and back end technologies. Okay, so it is all up to you which technologies you are choosing. Better, my recommendation is to go for both technologies, front end and back end. This is how you will get a very good salary package, and future growth will be very good for you guys. After the completion of this training, this poor entire session, I will be able to give you digital training certificates, letter of recommendation from my company. I also have a software company called Dollar Infotech. I will be able to give some letter of recommendation for you guys to able to, place in the software companies. You will be also get a chance to prepare. You will also get a chance to prepare an internship in our company, and after that internship you will be able to get the internship certificate or not. So first of all, you should open the YouTube, and you will search for our channel called OK Labs. So in the search tab, you will search our channel OK Labs. This is our channel. You go there, and first of all, you should subscribe the channel and press the bell notification icon. If you don't subscribe and if you don't press the bell notification icon, then whenever there will be a live class, you will not be able to view the live sessions, and you will not get any kind of push notification. Okay, so this is the entire course all about. So what is the objective of this particular streaming and particular course? The objective of the particular web development course is to teach you guys and to get a secured job in software industry. Okay, so you will get a secured job in software industry. Okay, so this will be the objective of this particular entire series. So first of all, we will learn, and then we will learn. First of all, we will learn, and after we we will get placed in IT companies. Okay, so the main objective, without learning, you will not able to get any kind of job in software companies. Today's software companies are looking for talented, highly qualified skill candidates. So you must have, if you are able to build this skill set in your resume, in your quality work, most probably you will be able to you will be get hired by any of the software companies around the globe. So first of all, the tools which is required the tools which is required for web developments is the Git. So Git is responsible to manage your source code. So let me ask you a question. So what is the biggest challenge for any software engineer? What is the biggest challenge for any software engineer? So the answer is to manage the source code. So the biggest challenge of any software engineer is to manage their source code. Managing the source code means taking a proper backup of the source code. Managing proper versions of the source code means every day you are writing some codes, every day you are making some changes. How the possible ways you can manage those changes, and how you can protect your coding from any disaster. For example, you are working on a project, day and night you are making code changes, and somehow at the day at the final day somehow your system and laptop crashes. What happens? You will lost everything. So the biggest challenge for any software engineer is to manage their source code. Okay, managing the source code is the biggest challenge, and how we can manage the source code is totally controlled by the Git software. Okay, so Git is a tool. Git is a software which is responsible for our source code management. It doesn't matter whether you are working in Java, whether you are working in Python, whether you are working Node.js, any world language you are working in. The biggest challenge for you is to manage your source code and to make different versions of the source code. So managing version controls is totally controlled by the Git software. So Git is also a SCM. So I have also written the full form of the SCM is called source code management. So I have mentioned the Git SCM link here. So we will be able to download this Git SCM softwares, and this Git is, let me write down, let me Git is actually built by Linus Torvald. So he's the Linus Torvald. Okay, so can anybody tell me who is the Linus Torvald? Linus Torvald. So Linus Torvald was the actual founder of Linux operating system. So Linus Torvald was the first person who eventually who introduced the Git systems. When Linus Torvald was writing the initial code structure of the Linux operating system, he was very worried about managing different. He was Linus Torvald was worried about managing source code. He was worried about managing proper backups. So Linus Torvald, who was the actual founder of the Linux operating system, build the Git softwares for managing what? For managing the source code. So basically, with the help of Git, we will be able to take the backups. We will be able to manage the different version control systems. So in interview, it may be asked who invented the Git. So probable answer is Linus Torvald. Git is invented by Linus Torvald. So it's a source code management system. So if you click on this particular link, I have already mentioned these particular links. So Git SCM. So you can clearly see this is the Git SCM, and right now because this is an international group, so most probable all of the student might have might have an Apple operating system, or they might have a Windows operating system. Doesn't matter if you are working on a Mac operating system. So you can install the Git software with the help of terminal with a brew command. So you have to open your terminal. Like in my case, I don't have a Mac right now. I have a Windows PC. So I will open my command prompt with the help of terminal. So in the terminal, if you are on a Mac operating system, you have to open your terminal and you will install this brew command, and you will install Git with the help of brew command. In my particular case, I have operating system of Windows. That's why I will install the Git software with the help of Windows exe. So you have to download. You will get this kind of page where it will ask you to download standalone installer, whether you have to download 32-bit setup or 64-bit setup. So which of the two software you need to download, it's depend upon the operating system, how much bit operating system you have. So in my particular case, if I go to the my computer, if I go to this PC, go to the properties, and I can clearly show you guys that my operating system is Windows 11, and I have a 64-bit operating system. So that's why I will install the Git operating system with the help of 64-bit operating system. So what you have to do, you have to install this particular exe, and you will able to see the installer here. What you have to do, you have to press Ctrl J in order to view the this download page view. I have already mentioned whatever the software code, whatever the different shortcuts I am using right now, it's Ctrl J to open the download window. So here, after downloading the exe, I pressed Ctrl J. Okay, show in folder, and this is the Git software which is installed here. you have to do right click and run as administrator. So my question is that for you, why you are installing Git in your system? So I might ask in the chat room why we are installing Git. Why we are installing Git? We are installing Git to manage the source code and to make different versions of our source code. This is the proper answer. Okay, so this will be the installation of Git operating system. You have to click next, and just click pressing on the next. That's it. Keep pressing it until and unless it won't finish up. So this is how you can see that I am able to install the Git operating system in my machine. So now you have to open a new tab. For example, I will open a new tab and I will use one of my email ID, a blank email ID, and you have to create a GitHub account. Now, Git and GitHub, these are totally different things. Okay, so right now I have opened a github.com website. Okay, let me show you the difference between the GitHub and Git. So Git is a software which you install on your local machine, and GitHub is a website where all the source code will be backed up. Okay, so for example, you are working in a system, you want to take a backup of the system. What is the best option to back up the system? Guess. If anyone can guess how you can back up your for example, you have a smartphone, you have lots of your phone galleries. How you take the backups of those photos? The answer is you will store those photos on the cloud, somewhere on the cloud. So if somehow your mobile get lost or your mobile crashed, if it is get crashed, then you will be successfully able to get all the photos and retrieve it later from the cloud later on. So here are the two different things. One is the Git software and the second is the GitHub website. Okay, so these are the two different things. Git and GitHub are not same. Git is not GitHub. This is the point you have to remember in mind. Sometimes student has a confusion that Git and GitHub both are same, but they are not. Git is a software and GitHub is a website. GitHub is built. GitHub is a website which is owned by Microsoft. Okay, GitHub is a website which is owned by Microsoft. Okay, so these are some difference between Git and GitHub. So right now what I'm going to do is to let's create a GitHub account. So GitHub, whenever I say GitHub, remember GitHub is a website. Whenever I say Git is not a website. Git is a software which you install in your machine, in your laptop. So Git is a software and GitHub is a website. Okay, so let's create a GitHub account. In order to create a GitHub account, you have to go to this link, github.com. Okay, so I will open GitHub account. You can clearly see in a new tab I have opened a GitHub account, and I will sign up here. So why we are going to sign up to GitHub? The answer is we want to backup and store our source code on the cloud. So on the cloud, where? Cloud have different millions website. GitHub. If I ask you a question, what is the difference between GitHub and for example, Google Drive? So both have some functionality, both have some similarities. What is the similarities between GitHub and Google Drive? So the answer is both both store content. Google Drive also store content and GitHub also store content. But in terms of GitHub, you store only what? You store only code. Whether you are working on a Python, you are working in Java, you are working in Node.js, you are working in HTML, front end, React, anything, you won't store your source code on Google Drive. Where you would store? You would store your code on the GitHub. If you have some photos, your family photos, okay, you have some family photos, your some PDFs, your Excel files, you have some documents where you will store these things. You will store on a Google Drive or you will Dropbox. You might be using Dropbox. Okay, so there is a similarities between GitHub and Google Drive and Dropbox. The similarities are both stores content online on the cloud systems. So as a software engineer, we are writing some precious, we are doing hard works, we are working day and night. Our responsibility is to back up the source code. If you're not able to back up your source code, then eventually you will end up losing everything. So the first responsibility of a software engineer is to manage the source code, to take the backups, to manage the different versions of your coding. It doesn't matter whether you are working in Java, .NET, Python, or any of the world programming language you are working, no worries. The main thing is to manage the source code with the help of Git and GitHub. With the help of both Git and GitHub, you will be able to manage the things. Okay, so let's create an account. So I can see the full stack. This is my email ID, oklabs fullstack may23@gmail.com. So oklabs, let me show my email address. oklabs fullstack, and email address is my23. I request everyone to create similarly as I am creating a scratch. Try to register a scratch email ID. Okay, you must have an email ID. Without email ID, you won't be able to create a GitHub account. Why we are creating GitHub account is to manage our source code on the cloud. Okay, so this is my email ID which I have created today. Okay, only for the training purposes, and I will create the password for this. Okay, so I will create the password for this. Continue. Okay, so it's showing that my password can be compromised. So make your password as strong. These are some 15 character recommendation. At least 5 characters in the password should be given. So enter the username. So my username is oklabs fullstack may23. So everything before the @ symbol is my username. You can write anything, just like oklabs fullstack may23 is available. It is available on the GitHub. I can create the account. If you see somewhere like in red it is unavailable, then try to change the username. Okay, in my case I have availability of this particular account. I want to create, yes. Here you will get a puzzle which you need to solve. Okay, so pick one square that show two identical object. So two identical object, I think two identical object, if you can help me guys, these are the two identical object. Yes, done. Two identical object, these are the two balls which are identical, and this is how I I am passed in the captcha recognition. This is how the GitHub is protecting some fake accounts. Only human can solve this kind of puzzles. This is how they are protecting for legitimate unnecessary accounts creations. So create account, click on the create account, and you have to open your Gmail drive. Okay, if I go to my Gmail account, this is my Gmail account, and you can see the Gmail ID which you have got it you have to go and you have to find some code which is a launch code from GitHub. You have to copy this launch code 190123. I will type 190123 and what 60. So I will write 60. So automatically it will jump to the next page. Welcome to GitHub. How many team members you will be working with? It's just you, so just me. You are student or teacher. In my case, I will say teacher, but all of you, my students, will tick on the student side. It doesn't matter whether you click on the teacher or student, doesn't matter, but I will request you to click on the student side. Okay, now scroll down and continue. And here there are two kind of options for accessing the GitHub. Whether you want to work want to access GitHub as a free, or you want to get some high level functionality. But first of all, I would recommend you that GitHub is totally free. You can upload unlimited number of your source code. There is no limit, so click on the unlimited. So this is how I successfully launched my first account. Okay, so now what you have to do, you have to go to the your D drive, any drive you select, but not your the operating systems. In my case, I will select my D drive, and here I will create a new directory. Okay, so I will create a new directory with the name full stack May 23, and I will say English. So this is my directory, full stack May 23 English. This is the directory which you also students, all everybody, every student have to create this directory in your D drive or E drive, but not on the C drive. Please remember, you don't have to create the directory on the C drive. So you can see in my case, I have only two drives. You might have C, D, E, F, and so on. So don't ever try to create your directories on a C drive, because C drive contains your operating systems. If somehow your operating system crashes, everything will be lost. So better to create directories of our project directory in the D drive. So I have created like full stack May 23. So for example, today is the 1st May 2023. I will create another folder called 1st May 2023. This is how the folder structure you have to create every day. For example, tomorrow will be a 2nd May. Tomorrow will be the second lecture of the class. I will be going to create which folder? Again, I will create tomorrow. I will create 2nd May 2023. This is how I will be managing each and every day. Whatever topic I am teaching in the class, I will be managing respective folders of those classes. So today you can clearly see on the bottom left corner, today is the 1st May. So I will go inside the 1st May directory, and the second software which you need to install the second software which you need to install is the VS Code editor. Open in the Google tab, open in the Google tab, open in the Google tab and write down Visual Studio Code Editor. What you have to do? You have to type 4 words, Visual Studio Code Editor, where you will be able to access this editor. So whatever code you are writing, you need to have a editor. So in our case, we are using owned by Microsoft. The name of the editor is Visual Studio Code. The who is developing this code editor is Microsoft. It is a product of Microsoft company. So I will be downloading this VS Code editor from the blue button. Okay, shortly I will be able to get in exe. Now I will press Ctrl J. Okay, you also have to press Ctrl J. So every shortcut which I am using in this particular class, I'm mentioning in this particular section. So right now I'm installing Visual Studio Code Editor. You can clearly see in the download tabs. Go, and this is my exe which I am going to install in my computer in order to show you step by step how can I install this particular exe. Okay, I accept the license and agreement. You have to accept the license agreement in order to install this software in your machine. Click on the next. You can also click on the create a desktop icons, next, and you have to wait 4 to 5 seconds of time, and eventually this Visual Studio Code Editor will be installed in your machine. Okay, so you can see I have installed Visual Studio Code Editor and I have installed Git SCM software in my machine. Okay, so now what you have to do, go to the full May 23 English folder, go to the first page. Inside the first page, right click, and you will see two new menus here, the Git GUI here and Git Bash here. If you are not able to see these two menus, it means that you have not installed, as per the documentation, you have not installed which software, you have not installed the Git software from this website. So go to this website. If you are not able to see these two menus, Git GUI here and Git Bash here, if you are not able to see these two menus, the possible answer, you have not installed it, Git software in your local machine. You have to do two things. First, download it. Second, install it. You download it and then you have to install it. So it's a straightforward process. You go to the link, click on the exe file, download it, and next, and this is how you will be able to install the Git SCM. So what you have to do, you have to go to the here and click on the Git Bash here. When you click on the Git Bash here, you will be able to see a black window. This window is called terminal. The black window is called terminal. Okay, because this is a basic scratch class, so I will be mentioning each and every small things in this lectures. Okay, so the black window will be called as what? Terminal. So we will call this black window as a terminal window, and from now onward we will call this black window not as black window but as terminal. Terminal is a standard naming convention for this black window. So we have to open black window, and you can see I am able to increase the font size. How I am able to increase the font size? Again, I am going to log the shortcuts. So I am pressing control plus scroll wheel. Okay, so move the scroll wheel. So move up and down, scroll wheel. This is how you will increase or increase and decrease the font size of the terminal. Okay, so you can see I am able to increase and decrease the size of the terminal. So if anyone gets how to increase the terminal size, so this is how I am doing. What I am doing, I am holding control on my laptop and I am scrolling the wheel up and down. This is how I am scrolling right now. Let me show you. If you can see, I am scrolling my scroll wheel. This is how I am increasing the font size. Now what you have to do, you have to type a command code space dot. So this is the command you have to open. You have to write code dot. So what is the command? Command is code space dot. This is the command. This is the command to open VS Code Editor. Okay, so this is the command to open the VS Code Editor. So code space dot, and you have to enter. You have to press enter. So press enter key on your computer. So this is how you can see I am able to open the VS Code Editor. This is the basic interface of the editor. This is the workspace. This is called basically a workspace. Okay, so what is technically called? It is technically called as workspace. So you can clearly see the workspace. Now there is no need of this black terminal, which from now onward we will call this as terminal. Once you are able to run the code dot command, immediately after running the code dot command, you have to close this terminal. Okay, there is no need of the terminal. Okay, now this is the workspace, and this is our project directory. This is our project directory location. Now here what you have to do, you have to create one single file which is called index.html. Whenever you are trying to build any kind of software, the first language which you have to work on is the HTML language, and for the HTML language you have to create a file called index.html. That comes to the next point, that we are moving on to the first technology stack of the website development, is that we are going to study the HTML5. Now 5 is the latest version of the HTML. HTML is a technology which has been developed from decades. Okay, so till today which version is launched, like it is launched 5. I can show the HTML version history. Okay, on the Google side you go to the HTML version history, and there will be some websites like Wikipedia. The official website is Wikipedia, and you can see HTML2 was the first version of HTML was introduced in 1995. So today is 2023, just before 30 years, 3 decades before the HTML was introduced. You wonder how old is our web development. So basically HTML, the second version of the HTML was introduced in 1995. So I can mention these things from here. I can create a new slide. The HTML2 was introduced in 1995. It's just a basic fundamental, guys. Is a basic theoretical knowledge that you have to understand. HTML3 was introduced as per the Wikipedia documentation. HTML3 was introduced in 1997. So as for your guide, I will write here HTML3 was introduced in 1997. So this is how I will be after this lecture. I will mention all these version histories from Wikipedia's. You don't have to go anywhere, only this link which I have shared you in the group, WhatsApp group. Day by day I will be preparing and updating this PDF, and we will end up with creating this awesome PDFs where you can share this PDFs to your friend circles and so on. So okay, so this is how we will create our first HTML file. Now in HTML we create some tags. Let me show you the first thing. Let me create the basic structure of web document. What is the basic structure of a web document? Okay, for example, if you want to create a simplest website, what is the basic HTML code you have to write in your HTML file? So I am going to write down the basic structure. First is the doc type tag. First you have to write everything in the angle bracket. Everyone do like this. This is an angle bracket. So whatever you have to write is in the angle bracket. These are called tags. Okay, so uh, let me create. So anything inside the angle bracket is called tags. For example, HTML is a tag. Okay, H1 is a tag. So anything like your name. For example, my name is Anil. Anil is a tag. Okay, so anything you write in a tag, basically in an angle bracket, you will call it as a tag. Even though Anil, my name, is not defined in the directory of HTML documents. So for now, just understand that any word if you write in the angle brackets will be called as tags. So the basic structure of the HTML documents I'm going to write. So here is the HTML. Okay, the first tag is the doc type, and the second tag is the HTML document. So there is a two kind of types of tags. So two types of tag, that is a singular tag and pair tags. What are the singular tags? The singular tag is like which has which has no ending tag. Example, the doc type HTML. This is a example of which kind of tag? Singular tag. What is the pair tag? The pair tag are the tags which have both start and end tags. So example, let me show you the example. Example is like HTML start and HTML close. So these are the example. There are two kinds of tags. Let me write down in the bold, and let it assign the types of tag: singular tag and paired. It's a paired tag, है it's a paired tag. So you can see the basic structure contains doc type and HTML. So I will write doc type and HTML here. So doc type and HTML, I will write this content here. I will write this content, and you can clearly see inside HTML and doc type tag, it will contain some children tags. So we will have some child parent relationship in tags. We will have some child parent relationship in tags. Means some tags have child parent relationship. For example, let me write down the example. The simplest example is you have an HTML tag. An HTML tag contain some children tag like head and body. Like head, it's head, okay, and body, okay. So you can see HTML is a wrapper, and these are written inside. So whatever tags which are written inside will be children, and whatever tags which are wrapping those inner tags will be called as parent. So head and body are children tag, and HTML is a parent tag. So these are some child parent relationship between the tags. So I can ask you a question: who is the child of HTML tags? The answer would be head and body. So who is the child of HTML tag? Head and body. I would say, who is the sibling of body tag? You would answer head. Who is the sibling of body tag? Who is the sibling of head tag? The answer would be a body tag. Who is the parent of body tag? Your answer would be HTML. So this is a child parent relationship between a different tags. So let me write down the basic structure of HTML. So it contain inside head and head. So there will be a body tag, okay, and we will be having, that's it. So for today class, we will be going to just write this simple HTML document. We are going to write this simple HTML documents. We will just save it. We will save it, and some we will try to indent the things. We will try to indent the things, and we just write some h1 hello, okay, and we will try to go to the directory and index.html. If you are not able to see the .html extension, the answer is go to the view, click on the hidden items. You might have options here where you will be able to see the extension. Then right click, open with browser, always open with Google Chrome. You have to open always with Google Chrome. So always, okay. So every time you will be able to create this kind of small project in your HTML. So this is for now. Anyone has any doubt till now, you can ask in the chat box. What we are installing Git. So Ankit, this is an international batch. If you want to ask a question related to, because it's for the international community, I can't answer in Hindi in this particular batch. This batch is specifically for English. So if you want to join this particular batch in Hindi, you can ask any questions in Hindi in this particular batch. not in the batch, in the morning batch basically. Any doubts, any questions? Don, Don Quixote, hi sir, hello. So okay, this is how we are wrapping up our lectures, and I hope you guys like this lecture. And daily from Monday to Saturday, 1 hours daily, we will be able to do the classes. I will assign the questions. I will organize some quiz, and most of and try to join this particular batch as much as possible. So this is the batch you would join. There are lots of funds is going on in this batch. So I request you many people to join this particular batch. Thank you.